All right, I got a 2020 GMC Sierra Denali. This truck is amazing. One of the downfalls is this gigantic, ugly third brake light. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to use colormatchwrap.com. They sent me perfectly matching roll of wrap that I'll show here in a little bit in the video, but I'm gonna show how I'm gonna do this. But I'm actually going to have this part stay the factory color or possibly tinted, and then all the red or maroon that you see is going to be color matched perfectly to the truck. This is a multi-step process because, as you can see from getting up close, there is no definitive line between the maroon, red, and the clear. So what that does is, if you put a color wrap on there, you have no clue where you're cutting unless you get precise measurements or something like that. So I'm going to show a solution for it and work that out. All right, here's step one of the process. And what I'm doing is putting a tinted film. This is this cool VVIVID Hex Plus light smoke tint. As you can see, even with the light smoke, it tints it pretty good. The camera doesn't always do it justice, but I would say it's a pretty solid tint over here. So what I'm going to do is I ran that perfect straight edge from the factory here, cut it out around, pressed it up into where it's the white. It's about a 2-inch strip, and then what I'm going to do is cut that out using another really cool tool that I picked up. So this is, sorry about that quick cutaway, my son came running up. Anyways, this thing is called the Slice. What it is it's a micro X-Acto knife, but it actually is made of plastic, not steel. So I tested it out on some other stuff. You can cut it and it won't destroy the plastic or cut into it and makes crazy marks. So I'm going to use that to cut out the other sides. And so when I put the color match wrap over it, I'll have a line, a definitive line that I can feel under it. I can cut along that line, therefore it's going to give me the proper three-dimensional cutout I need to remove from this part, and I'll have that nice cool third brake light here and the cargo lights there. All right, got the cargo lights on to show. It's pretty cool. It actually transmits a bunch of light through this, but it really makes it look dark when they're off. I mean, just stepping away, there's light leaking into here, obviously, but that's pretty dark. So what I've done is obviously cut out pretty well around that area. Nice smooth corners and other things. And what that's going to allow is for when I put the next level on, it's going to give me a three-dimensional line there. For some reason my phone won't focus here. Three-dimensional line right here, so I know exactly where to cut. So I have a great border around it, and I'll probably just leave this stuff on because it looks kind of cool. I'll turn the cargo light off real quick. Okay, that's with the cargo lights off. I kind of like that look. They're still very bright, took away very little. So it's exciting. Next step. All right, something else I want to mention about this colormatchwrap.com. Look at how well they ship this. This is incredible. Party mail tube inside the tube, plastic cover with tape on the outside of the vinyl. I mean, they absolutely know they have a top quality product and they treat it that way. I'm willing to pay shipping any day when the company takes that much care. So you can kind of see, you know, it is going to match, and it is amazingly close when I hold it up, but I'm going to save that for when I actually get it on there. All right, switching up the view here a little bit. A couple things to think about when handling vinyl. Make sure that surface is clean. hit it with some alcohol, dust-free rag. Okay, make sure it's all clean all the way around, and cut the piece big enough to where you're not touching the vinyl when you're handling it. So what I did notice is there's a little bit of like a lip on here. I'm wondering if it's like tape or something, but anyways, not that big of a deal. Nobody sees the top of this. Basically what I'm going to do is run this edge, kind of get it set up. All this vinyl should have the same properties as other vinyls, with memory and releasing memory with heat and that sort of stuff. So just going to get these, work these little bubbles out and go through installing it like normal vinyl. It's pretty exciting stuff. I mean, it is incredibly close. I don't know if the camera can really do it justice as to actually how close this is. Like, it's practically amazing. Yeah, I think the camera does a good job. You have that white background, that's my giant screen. Not to have all the garbage in my background in the shot. Anyways, there's a bunch of other three-dimensional stuff to deal with here that I'm just going to take my time on and work it out and work with the vinyl. Luckily, even though I'm wearing a jacket today, it's like, 55 degrees, so at least it is warm enough to work with this stuff. And I know people do work with it in the cold. I just don't recommend doing it, because it's not going to do you a whole lot of good. It's not going to make it work any better, any more effectively, especially when you cut this. Make sure you're cutting away from the paint. What's nice about this little micro knife is it's short enough to where it can't really reach the paint. That's what's kind of cool about it. That's what I like about it so far, and it seems like it's going to really do the trick. All I got to do is just make sure I get this stuff down in there, and I'll grab some of my other tools here shortly. But yeah, so far so good on working this stuff in. Maybe I'll shut that down and come back when I'm a bit further, so it's not such a boring video to watch. Alright, here we go. Tough spot now. Since this truck has all these cameras under here, this is really going to prove to be a tough spot. So we're going to see if we can heat it up and kind of work around these. Usually when you're working on some flat surfaces and stuff, you actually don't want to use much heat, even any way that you can avoid it, just because if you don't do it just right, it's going to try to go back to the shape it was, and that is when it fails. Especially on an edge. Like if you watch top-notch pros, they only do this heat on the corners and stuff like that. I am by no means a pro at this. I do watch and try to learn from the best, and those guys that are really good, just, it's amazing how they can do this, relieve the tension and all that stuff in this vinyl. It's absolutely incredible to watch. So what's cool about how I'm doing it is it needs to shrink just a little bit around this lens, and I think I'm going to get it to work, but I might have to actually make my relief cut already around the lens itself just to make this work right, because I feel like it's not functioning in the way I want it to function. So goes. Get this cutout done. And I can clean that up. I need to. Look at there. Beautiful. Just drop the piece. Don't want that sticking somewhere else on the car. Try this again. Perfect. So unfortunately, you know, the heat kind of stretches it a tad, but I want it to go back to the way it was before it got stretched. So I think I'll get it. It's just going to take a little bit of coercion. But yeah, this is basically what you're going to be doing. This is the crazy hard part of being anal retentive and trying to fix this stuff. Like, I absolutely can't stand having other colors on my vehicle besides black, chrome, and whatever maybe other colors it might be, but I try to get rid of all red and amber and everything. So I'll go over that in some of my other videos with this stuff, because I am going to use it on other parts. But this is kind of the struggle of it, and if any of you pros happen to watch this, A, thanks for watching, but B, give me some pointers on what I might be doing wrong with any of this, because man, this is a skill for sure, and I don't take it lightly what some people do when they wrap a whole car. Like, that stuff's freaking amazing to me. And they get it wrapped and then it looks like a paint job. That is so cool to me. Anyways, this is the real tough part. Luckily I got through it, and I'll follow up here again in another minute or two. Alright, well, just about finished. Actually got to take my kids to sports right now, but man, you can see how close that is to that paint color, and it's absolutely awesome. Like, just the look I'm going for. Got a little touching up to do, as you can see, but get it going, and that's it. Thanks.